Hello and welcome to the channel. If you like what you hear, please do get involved. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you think. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about Charli XCX, who I'm sure many of you are big. Certainly you would have heard of her, right? But she's going through a bit of a rebrand at the moment, bit of a different stage, right? She's just come off the back of, obviously, Brat, one of the biggest albums of a generation. And without a doubt, one of the biggest and best brand projects I've ever seen, certainly for a musician, right? So now she's moving on to what I assume is going to be another album. And she's kind of in this phase of like trying to think how she's going to keep things fresh. Because you can't just do Brat again, right? So she's released a new single called Rock Music, which you would probably have heard. It's a little bit, I mean, I hate it, but it's probably not for me. But all of her visuals are new, all of her approach is new. What she's doing is very different, and she's incredibly good at getting people to talk about her, right? Which I'm doing right now, right? Probably one of the best of the past kind of decade or so at getting people to talk about her, right? But she did something quite interesting with the B-side to her new single, which is what I want to kind of focus on with this video. So what actually happened, right? The B-side to her single, Rock Music, right, which is the big song. But on the B-side of that song is a track called I Keep Thinking About You Day and Night. I might have the title for that wrong, right? And if you order the vinyl to the song, that is the song on the B-side, right? So if you order the physical copy, it's a B-side in the very traditional sense. But the B-side does not exist on streaming services, not on Spotify, it's not on Apple Music, right? Not only that, but it's also not available to listen to on Charli XCX's main social media page, right? The only place that you can find this song is on Charli XCX's second account on Instagram, like her burner account, if you like, which is called B-Sides. So what she's done is she's posted a little clip of that song on her second account on Instagram and told fans that if you want it, you can rip the audio, burn the audio, essentially. So for people who don't know what that means, there's ways that you can, anything that's on the internet as a video, you can extract the audio from that and then have that on your phone to listen to as you go along, right? A bit like you used to do with cassettes and radio back in the day, if anyone's old enough to remember that. Similar kind of thing. It's technically, you're not supposed to do it. It's a little bit kind of grey area illegal, but Charli XCX is inviting her fans to do it, right? So we're looking at it here. This is her profile. It's not even like a verified page or anything like that. It's pretty basic. There's not loads of posts on there. And then one of the videos is just a video of the song. So that's the song. The video is pretty basic. It's all quite sort of DIY seeming, right? But there's a couple of things that I find interesting about this. Firstly, like the fact that she's done it on a burner account, I find interesting, right? Because she's making a bit of a distinction between the things that can exist on her main page, which is her main brand page, right? And the stuff that goes on this second page, which you see a lot of artists doing now. But I wonder if we'll see more from her. Like, I wonder if that second page could become almost like a slightly alter ego in of itself, which is interesting. We'll have to see, I guess. But what I would say on this, and this is my kind of key point here, is that a lot of people seem to take what Charli XCX does, especially with this, right, as being quite rebellious, being quite rock star, and being quite like, I'm not even going to bother uploading this to Spotify. I don't even care. If you want it, you could just stream it illegally, can't you? You could just It's all very like, it's all kind of supposed to look a little bit kind of against the system, right? But don't confuse this with anything altruistic or anything rock starry, right? This is all PR. This is all brand building, right? At this point, for Charli XCX, the single most important thing in her career is that her brand is upheld. At this point in her career, streams on Spotify, sales of her music, stuff like that, doesn't matter anymore. really. It's a fraction of the income that she earns, right? So she is in a very privileged position that she has the fan base and she has the streaming numbers and she has the kind of sales. So that none of that matters. She can quite literally afford to put stuff up for free, right? In fact, it probably hurts her brand more to put up a B-side to a song, which in all likelihood won't stream as well as the others, right? So it's actually to her benefit to do this. A, it makes her look anti-establishment. B, it gives off the idea that she's doing something a little bit for her fans. This is a purely strategic but brilliant move, right? But it's not, don't confuse it with Charli XCX being like, oh, I don't care about streaming services. Yeah, I just want to give something to my fans. No, this is all PR. This is all management. This is all part of a strategy. The strategy is to make the song a souvenir. Make it something that you can say you ripped the audio because Charli XCX told you to, or it will drive sales of the vinyl because you can't get that B-side anywhere else. You can only get the vinyl. So yeah, everything about this is not about her being anti-establishment or punk in any way. It's all about her upholding her bratty kind of and her out there kind of image, right? And that's her brand is what gets her all the things that really, really do drive money, like films, brand partnerships, tour shows, Wuthering Heights soundtracks, all of those things, the big celebrity stuff. That is all driven by the idea of Charli XCX and her giving a song away for essentially free on her Instagram. All right, she might not get the amount of money in streams that you would get on Spotify for that, but that's negligible. That's really negligible compared to what you get out of doing this as a brand exercise because people talk about it. And that is what is the overarching goal for Charli XCX is for people to talk about it. And that's exactly what's happening.